So a lot of you guys are gonna skip past this video because you're looking for entertainment or you're looking for some kind of quick dopamine fix, and you're not gonna find that here. So a lot of you are probably dropping out right now, but it's okay because this video is not for you. The purpose of this video is to record this moment and the thoughts that are going through my head. And the reason I'm doing that is because I think it'll provide some value to some of you out there that need to hear it. So I just got back from a 7-mile run. It was a 1-mile warm-up, 1-mile cool down, and 5 miles at a zone 3 to zone 4 heart rate. I did peak above zone 4 for a little bit, but that's besides the point. The point of this video is to say, dude, I fucking miss this shit. I miss this shit a lot, dude. So my last race was a 15K race, and that was in March. And before that race, I had such a deep love for the training plan and the training that I was doing. And man, I just wanted to do it every day. Like, that was the thing I looked forward to the most every day, was going on the run and just training, dude. Fast forward past the race. When you don't have a race coming up or you don't have a training plan that you're currently on, you can start to, like, I wouldn't necessarily say lose momentum, but like you start to lose focus. And other things came up in my life that that I was focusing on. Relationship things, not necessarily romantic relationships, but just relationships with people in general. I left my job, landed a new job, going through school right now, a lot of things with school. Many things happened. I went traveling. A lot of things came up, and throughout that time, I kind of lost, I wouldn't say the passion for it, because the passion was still there, but I lost the drive and motivation to go running. And I still did most of my runs. And because I knew that through those times when you're not motivated or you're not feeling it or you're not even enjoying it, if you can stay consistent through those times, that's the difference maker between the people that succeed and the people that just stay mediocre, right? So I continued to do most of my runs, but you could see in my training and my body weight now and my training now, like, it reflected my lack of passion directly. Like, I could see it in my times, in my heart rate, in the way I was running. Yeah, I could directly see it, even in my diet and everything. So yeah, a few months of that, and it led to today. And today it's currently, I don't know what time it is, maybe around midnight. And dude, the reason I went running this late is because I procrastinated it all day. Not necessarily procrastinated it, but like, I just didn't put it in the forefront. And then at the end of the day, I was like, dude, like, almost everything in me just did not want to do the run. Almost everything in me didn't want to do it. But I thought to myself, excuse me. I thought to myself, this is the moment, you know? This is the deciding factor, right? Who can get up and go run in these moments and who can't? And I said, you know what? I don't want to do this right now. I pushed it off for a while. But you know what? I'm just going to get up and go do it. As soon as I started putting on my running gear, my mindset changed before I even started running, right? And I was like, okay, I remember this lesson so many times in my life that, like, motivation doesn't come first, starting comes first, and motivation comes after, usually. Usually starting is the hardest part. And I want to come back to that. Starting is the hardest part because, dude, when I got back out there tonight, it was like I was back to October of last year when I first started my training plan for that race. I was like, dude, this feeling, I haven't felt this like hunger to come out here and run in like months, dude, months. And it felt so good because 10 minutes before that, I had never felt like I didn't want to run more. So it was such a strange dichotomy, right? And like I said, starting is the hardest part. It doesn't matter where you're at in your training. It doesn't matter how many years you've trained. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. None of that matters. Every single one of us has to start again every day. I don't care if you just ran a 200-mile race, you just ran your fastest time in the 5K. I don't care what you just accomplished. You got to start again. There's something new. There's something coming next, right? And that starting is so hard for so many people, but if we can just do it anyways, no matter how we feel, that was the thought that was going through my head earlier. Fuck how I feel, right? Feeling doesn't matter. Some days you're going to want it, some days you're not going to want it. What matters is, did you stay consistent over time, right? And dude, when I was out there, it was like I was feeling the pain, right? Because when you're doing 5 miles at a tempo pace or whatever, a lot of you might not know what that is, but 5 miles at like a decent pace, dude, it feels kind of painful, right? It doesn't necessarily feel good, but like that feeling is what I'm looking for, dude. And it reminded me of when I was in my 15K race in March, and it was hot outside, and it was brutal, dude. I averaged for the 9.3 miles, 189 heart rate on average, and dude, it was painful. And I remember I ran past someone that I knew in the run club that I go to. And I told him, I said, let's get this shit, dude. We've been here before. We know what this is like. I forgot exactly what I said, but I said, we've been here before. So many times in training, I've been in that painful spot. And I trained for months on end to get to this moment in the race. And dude, I remember the one thing that carried me through was not only like just saying that out loud to other people. I'm sure other people were getting annoyed with me, but whatever. But like, I remember being in so much pain, and when I'm in that moment, like, I'll just look up at the sky and just be like, dude, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Like, we're here, you know? We're finally at this moment. Like, this is the moment I've been working for so many months. Like, this pain, this is the pain of, like, I knew this was coming. And this is what I've been looking for. Like, I'll start running with my hands up like this, and I'm just like, dude, thank you. You know? And that's what I felt today. That's what I felt today. And it made me think a lot about these painful experiences. And so many of us, we try to avoid it. And it's in our nature to avoid it, right? It's like a survival instinct. But at the end of the day, the ticket to the promised land, the place that we all want to get to, that next level, the level that we know that we have the potential to get to, it's through the work. There's no way around it, dude. So many times in my life, I've failed. Over and over and over. I've had people talk bad about me. I've done the wrong things. I've made the wrong choices. I've failed and I've failed and I've failed like so many more times than I've won. Okay? But it's through that where I built that strength and that armor around me, right? It's through the failure and all that bullshit where you start to get stronger. And let me put it this way, guys. The problems, they don't change. All that changes is that you get stronger and you get better and more capable of dealing with those problems. That's what changes. So it's through the failure and the repetition and the constantly trying to get to that point that you get stronger and stronger and stronger, right? And that's why I was talking to someone the other day, at the run club. She was saying, like, I was telling her about running in places that are just monotonous and they're just very boring, and there's like a beauty in that. And she was having, she was thinking about this for a second. She said, I want to run in beautiful places. And I said, running in those horrible places where it's dark, it's not fun, it's monotonous, mile after mile after mile, that's the only place that you can go that's gonna take you to that next level. It's the only place you can go to build that armor that makes you bulletproof. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't know if I'm making sense. And it also makes the good runs that much better, right? If you're running in a beautiful place every day, it starts to lose its beauty. But that's not even the point of this video. The point of this video is that there's a beauty in the hard work that you cannot find anywhere else. You can't find it anywhere else, because you know what you find through the hard work is what you're really made of. And 99% of us will start to find that we are so much more capable than we ever thought we were. Once we get to that moment and we push past it, we realize, dude, why did I set my limits here? I should have set them way up there, right? Or even higher. And I remember thinking back to my 15K race. I was going for 1 hour and 3 minutes, I think, was my target. It was a really hot day. That's not an excuse. I think I just overshot my projection. But I did it in like 107 or like 108 almost. So I was like 4 or 5 minutes off of what my target was. And in running at that distance, that's like a way off, But it didn't matter, dude. Because what mattered was I put everything I had out in that race. There's been races that I've done in my life where like I'll get to the finish line and then I'll start sprinting because I know I only got like a little bit left. This race, I could not do that. I literally could not run any faster into that finish line, and I left everything out on the table. Right? And I found out what I was capable of. And it's through many times in my life, right? So many times when things got hard, I gave up. Okay? And the only times where I've really felt like a huge amount of glory and victory, and like there's something about that feeling that you just can't match anywhere else. The only real times that I've felt that is when I pushed through past the point when I didn't want to do it anymore, past the point where I thought I couldn't be capable of anymore, and I kept going, and then I got to the finish line. Didn't matter the time, didn't matter the result. And I'm not talking about just running. I'm talking about anywhere in life. Right? Those are the moments where I've felt like the most glory. And it reminds me back to last week, actually. I had some stuff coming up with school, some testing that I needed to do on a Saturday, right? And the 2 days before that, Thursday and Friday, it was 2 8-hour classes, one on each day. And I had to do so much studying for this test that literally I took notes the entire day, both days, 8 hours straight, just about. Like, I have so many notes in my notebook here like page after page after page. I did not stop. Like, I didn't even pick my head up to look at the clock, really. Like, and the days went by quickly. But I remember being in it, and each night I was like, dude, I do not want to go back. I do not want to go back. I just want to get this shit over with. Like, that's all I was thinking, was like, just one more day. Just get tomorrow done and then focus on the next day. Plus, I had other things in my life going on that were like causing other stress. Dealing with a new job that I'm starting. I was doing onboarding with that at the same time. Plus, I hadn't done a 3-hour like course that I also needed to get tested on the same day on Saturday. So Friday night I went home from the 8 hours of studying at school and the class, and I did another 3 hours at night, plus a little bit more studying in the morning, cramming like before the testing. Ended up passing the test, right? Didn't even think I was gonna pass it. Okay. But I ended up passing, and that feeling, it's almost unmatched, dude. That feeling, I've only felt that a couple times in my life. And that's not good. That's something I want to feel like over and over and over, that glory, that victory. And it sounds so dumb because it's like, dude, you just went to school and took a test. But that's not the point. The point is I pushed through even when I didn't want to do it, even when it was hard, even when I didn't know what the next day was going to look like or if I was going to pass. I just kept going. I said, you know what? This is the only option. Either I do this or I give up. And that's how these two classes in this test were. It was like, you need to show attendance and take this test and pass, or else you fail the whole thing. So I did it. Dude, and the glory driving home from that test, like, dude, the happiness and the joy of like getting through that, that's living, dude. That's really living. And the only way I would have gotten that joy is going through that hard work. If it was easy, if it was simple, I would have driven home like it was a normal day. Wouldn't have even crossed my mind. Right? And that's what I want to put out there to you guys, is like, a lot of us know what we need to do. We know what we need to do. You guys have your goals, right? I have my goals. You know what the next step is. Okay? Most of the days that you do this shit, you're not going to want to do it. And I'm just telling you the truth right now. As soon as you get used to that and you say, my new norm is waking up and doing shit I don't feel like doing, but I'm going to do it because it's going to get me to a place where I really want to be. Once you realize that that's your new norm and just make that normal, it becomes much simpler. You can become more relaxed because you expect it coming. You know what's coming. And I talked about this in another video. When you know the work that's coming and you know exactly what you need to do, starting is so much easier. It's so much easier. Today, I knew this run was going to come. I knew it was going to be painful. I knew that since I made the training plan. I knew it was coming. Okay? But since I knew what was coming, I could prepare mentally for it, and I wasn't caught off guard, and I just started. Right? And it's painful, dude. It's so painful to go through this work. Trust me, I know, dude. Any of you that are going for something big, trust me, I know that the grind, the monotonous work, the hoops that you gotta jump through, the random stuff that like isn't even expected that you have to do to jump through. I know it's so annoying, it's painful, you just want to get there. But one thing I can tell you for certain is that it's not nearly as painful as wasted potential. I promise you, it's not nearly as painful as wasted potential. That feeling that we never want to feel. You turn 30, 40, 50, and you look back in your life, and you say, what the fuck have I even done? Where am I at? I know I'm capable of more. I know I'm capable of way more than this. And the difference is the people at the top, they're just as human as you and I, right? The difference is they pushed through that work, they stayed consistent, and they knew that the pain of the work sucks, but the pain of not being who they know that they can be sucks way more. Okay? And that's really why I wanted to make this video, dude. Because I found it in me again, dude. I found it in me again. Not that it left, but I felt it out there tonight. Like, I just felt so thankful for that run and to feel that love and passion for the running again. And it even made me think about YouTube. There's so many times, you guys can go through my catalog if you want. I start making videos consistently and then I drop off. And then a year later, I'll start making videos again and then drop off. I've done that so many times. And not even just on YouTube, dude. I've done that so many times with so many things in my life. And you know where that leads you? To just average. Just average. You never reach that full potential, that full height of the people that see it through. And they push through those moments when they just don't want to do it, but they're going to do it anyways. Okay? They don't care how they feel. They don't care what people are saying about them, because that's another thing. And it's the hardest when it's coming from your loved ones that care about you. They don't care about anything other than they can see the light at the end of the tunnel and they're going to press forward towards it until they get there, or until it's no longer humanly possible to get there. But you know what? That second part, 99.9% of the time, never happens. Many times you'll get to that light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, with my 15K race, I didn't get the time I wanted. Okay? I was 4 or 5 minutes off. I got maybe 95% there. But you know what? I was 100% further than if I never tried. %100% further than if I never tried. And that's where the real accomplishment comes from. I didn't care that I was 4 minutes off. What I cared about was that I left everything out there on that course. I came back through the finish line with literally nothing left in my gas tank. And that's what I was looking for. That's what I trained for months. 5, 6 months, something like that. Dude, what a beautiful feeling. And that's why you can't get that feeling from anything other than the hard work, pushing through something painful. And that's the beauty in the hard work. And if we can just find a way to love that and take control of our minds, because if we can't control this, what can we really control? But if we can take control of our minds and say, you know what, maybe we don't feel like it today. Maybe I do feel like it today. That doesn't matter. Either way, I'm hungry. I'm hungry to learn. I'm hungry to grow. I'm hungry to get stronger. Right? I'm hungry to do the right thing. And many times doing the right thing feels like shit in the moment. Okay? Many times doing the right thing feels like shit in the moment. But every one of you out there knows what's right. You know what you got to do. And I just wanted to make this video to tell you guys that, like, at the end of that path, one of the best feelings in the world, if not the best. That glory, it doesn't even have to be glory that other people see. It doesn't have to be glorious in terms of stats, in terms of what society deems to be great. What's glorious is that you went for something, you put everything out there, you saw it through, and you made it fucking happen for you. Okay? Fuck anyone else. No offense to them. You do it for you. Okay? Nothing beats that feeling, dude. And that's the feeling I felt tonight. And that's what I remembered after my race was like, the race is awesome. Race day is awesome. It's a whole day of festivities. You get to go have a, you know, put yourself out there on the course, and then you get to take pictures, whatever. But the real beauty was the training to get there. That's what you remember on race day. Like, dude, all the nights I was alone, mile after mile after mile. All the days I ate food I didn't necessarily want to eat, or I avoided eating like shit. All the nights I didn't go out. That's what you start to look back on, and dude, that's the beauty. You start to miss it. And that's what I realized today, dude. I really miss this shit. It was like a few months off. It was a few months off of like just distracted with other things. Still kind of did the running, but man, I haven't felt the love for it like I did tonight in many months. And it felt so good, man. And that's why I just wanted to make this video and just share my thoughts with you guys. But yeah, man, whatever you guys know you need to do, just go fucking do it, dude. You got the potential in you. The people at the top are no different than you and I. They're humans too, okay? Every single one of you can do it. Every single one of you. So go out and do that shit. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.